Hey there, we're back at San Diego Harbor, and I've been thinking a lot lately about panic attacks. I have a lot of friends who suffer from them either because of PTSD or other traumatic life experiences that they've had. And it seems to be something that actually quite a lot of people have to deal with, and it's not easy to do. And I figured what could help is just a little bit more understanding about what they are and why we're having them and what it means. And I think the first thing that's important to understand is that panic attacks are really strongly related to our fight or flight response that helps to prepare us to deal with an intense, potentially life-threatening situation. So when you're experiencing one, this is your brain trying to do something to help you. Not always so helpful, as it turns out, but there you go. So one of the particular challenges, and one of the reasons I think why we're seeing so many people having panic attacks these days, is that we live in a very different world than the one that we evolved in. Things are happening more quickly. We have all these demands on our attention. There's a lot of very intense experiences that we all have. And even though the fight or flight response evolved to be something to help us with survival, in this modern world where you suddenly might get run over by a car and it zooms by and you're never going to see it again, or somebody comes blaring on a loud radio right next to you, and it startles you, there's all sorts of different stimuli that can become triggers for this response and begin to cause our heart rates to go up and cause our breathing to get shallow and cause us to get nervous and start looking around, and suddenly there's adrenaline and there's cortisol and we're like, oh no, what's going on? Why does this all matter? Well, what I want you to understand is that when you have that panic attack, your body and mind are physiologically responding to the spike in all of these neurotransmitters that are involved in the fight or flight response. And while the initial spike is really intense, what happens afterwards is that it smooths out and then eventually goes down and you start to relax. And that's the time course of these things. It will be super intense at first. And as your mind realizes that there's actually not anything that's immediately threatening you, the response of it triggering those neurotransmitters will slow down and stop, and then overall you'll start to get calmer and you will feel better. And it might not always be quick, but it will happen. So I'm Dr. Shai. If you'd like to learn more about how your mind works, follow the link below.